Okay. What's happening in the TikTok ban? That's the question. First, the TikTok ban. TikTok is going dark tonight. And this is what New York Times has said. 19th was the date when, if we'll come, the Supreme Court of USA had said that after 19th, you cannot have TikTok going if it is not sold to someone, an American entity. That's not happened. So TikTok ban starts tonight. Virtually by tomorrow, it's dark. Okay. But there are a lot of repercussions. Let me go into the whole thing. Let's go into the saga. I mean, how did it start? It was first banned in 2020, mind you. By whom? Trump. Through an executive order. When? During COVID. When that ban came into effect, or rather the executive order came, it quoted India's TikTok ban. And India banned TikTok overnight. Next 2 days finished. Done. No other country has been able to do that. No other country has done that. Okay. Why did it do? Because there were concerns over data sharing. And what's written in that executive order, the United States must take aggressive action against the owners of TikTok to protect our national security. Why am I giving all this? We're going to come to the point where same Mr. Trump today says he's vowing to, support TikTok. At that time, Trump didn't mind if Microsoft or any other country acquired TikTok and run it. And run it as an American company. Okay. At that time, the executive order also barred app stores from hosting TikTok because you have to download TikTok from some app store. And the initial executive order gave 45 days deadline to comply with the whole story. But then TikTok appealed against all this and appealed and appealed and appealed. People say it's like something like a Houdini, which has been effectively going. Now evading this ban. Now both Republican and Democratic administrations, lawmakers, officials, everyone has had TikTok on its sites. They all have said that this Chinese ownership poses a national security risk. They have all quoted India. They said, if India can do it overnight, why can't we do it? They got the First Amendment Act and this and that, all that nonsense. It went into a tailspin. Now, 2023, Trump, TikTok, in 2023, TikTok eluded the ban after 3 years. Now, it went to the Supreme Court. Now, in 2024, the US Senate moved permanently to ban the app and to force ByteDance. ByteDance is the original company which owned TikTok, and that's headquartered in China. And they said they should divest from TikTok. So Biden signed a law, okay, that would ban TikTok unless the app's owner, ByteDance, sold it to a non-Chinese company. That sale has not materialized so far. There is no company which is ready to buy so far, and it's gone. From tomorrow, it's gone. And TikTok went and appealed against this in the Supreme Court. In this, a lot of people backed TikTok from America. Supreme Court upheld the law. Because Biden made it a law. Why am I going into all this? I'll just come to it. Okay, somewhere last year, Trump changed his stance. Why am I talking? Because Trump can change his stance. Today he can talk with India. Tomorrow he can't talk good English, and that's the danger. Now he is moving to save TikTok. He says, I got a warm spot for TikTok. Why does he have a warm spot for TikTok? Because it was TikTok which enabled him to reach to a certain amount of demographics or rather younger people during his presidential campaign. Now, what's more, one of the guys who has got substantial stock value in shares of TikTok contributed to Trump, and he has helped Trump win. So Trump is now saying TikTok acha hai. But then, as Trump has kept saying this, Trump will become the president day after tomorrow. The deadline is tonight, 19th US time, tomorrow. Supreme Court has given its ruling. No, you can't go against the Supreme Court. But Trump has spoken. Being Trump, he's spoken something. And now, this entire business of TikTok is in a gray area. Now, think about TikTok. TikTok is not giving up. TikTok is not giving up. China is also not giving up. This is very strange, isn't it? Now, there's an event which is being either held today or it was held yesterday, which was sponsored by TikTok, where a lot of conservative influencers were there. And they're a mega event. TikTok is paying for it. And Stephen Chu, or whatever that fellow's name is, who's the MD and CEO of TikTok, he's attending Trump's inauguration along with presidents and family members and all that. So this is the story which is on. Okay. What has the court said actually? Let's understand what the court has said on TikTok. Court has said there is no doubt that for more than 170 Americans, TikTok offers a distinctive and expansive outlet for expression, means of engagement, and a source of community. So they acknowledged it's a good fun machine, fun app. But they say that Congress has determined that divestiture is necessary to address its well-supported national security concerns regarding TikTok's data collection practices and relationship with a foreign adversary. So the Congress legally has collected data which shows that TikTok collects data from America and gives it to China. And this has been proven in a court of law. And the court has upheld this. This is the legal status. Forget the legal status. We know that anything owned in China or by Chinese is subject to the government. You can't stop anything. It will go. Okay, this is the court's opinion. Okay. What is the status otherwise? Internationally. 2 weeks after Galwan, we banned it. In fact, we banned it with other 59 apps and then made it more. We know that's an old story, but we are not allowed TikTok to come in. You do find TikTok videos still being circulated in WhatsApp groups and all that. But there's no app from which you can download. Okay. You can't upload your videos into TikTok from India. So India has taken resolute action. This is something which many people don't understand. Just think. Here is America. For the past 4 years, it's trying to put TikTok out of the system. TikTok has used American law, American influencers, bribed them, and made sure that it survives. Today, After the ban has come into effect tonight, it will come into effect. And already the reporters said it has gone dark or that app is not available. TikTok is still hopeful of reviving it. ये है अमेरिका. उसके ऊपर a lot of questions. Why? That is why I've taken this TikTok thing up. All these questions will come up a little later. Many countries have, restricted access to TikTok, saying that look, it's security threats and all that. March 2023, 1.5 years back, or nearly 2 years back, Biden has said that all government agencies must delete TikTok. If you are a government servant, you can't use TikTok in USA. And many countries have followed this diktat internally. UK, Denmark, Canada, New Zealand, EU, they've also imposed similar restrictions where, if you are in the government and you are communicating on behalf of the government with an official this thing, you have to delete TikTok and not use it. That's the status. So India is complete. Rest of the world, many countries are partial, but many countries it's still there. Those who are under the Chinese influence, it's still there. They couldn't care a damn if China takes their data or not. Why does TikTok and China want all this data? I mean, let me give you a heads up because I'll talk about this some other day. AI. Apart from the security part and cyber and all that, AI needs data. Constant generation of data. As of today, the complete data of the internet has been scuppered by all the AI systems. Nothing left. So whoever can generate data will get better AI. And apart from money and things like that. So there are many angles to this whole story. Let's talk of ownership or understand what this ownership is all about. Now, ByteDance, which is TikTok's parent company, it has taken the refuge, says, look, more than 50% of the ownership is by global investors. If they're right, 50% global investors, including that Republican who supported Trump, and Trump has been supported by them. And they say that Chinese government doesn't have any direct or indirect ownership or stake in TikTok or ByteDance. But ByteDance is headquartered in China. So any country, any organization or firm which is headquartered in China, by Chinese law, cannot give away data. Or rather, cannot withhold data. Sorry, that's my mistake. Cannot withhold data. So whatever the PRC wants, it will take. Now, TikTok's defense is that the Chinese government has no role in the company and that it has spent billions of dollars to address US concerns. Look, we'll take care. Your security is not at stake. That's what they've been trying to prove. But the Senate and the Congress has said no. Like I said earlier, ByteDance is headquartered in Beijing and it is subject to China's control. There's no doubt about it. Look, as per reports, China's government has a golden share in ByteDance and it has veto powers in the company, which is not natural. If Xi Jinping ऐसे उंगली नचाएगा, तो ByteDance chap will also run up and down. So all this subterfuge has been going on and America, to be very clear, has been such a foolish nation that आज तक China ने उसको नचाया है. China has made US dance. And all this while it has been sucking information away. Okay. Right. Now, what's the effect on others? Who are the others who will be affected? By this. Oracle, Amazon Web Services, Akamai Technologies, app stores like Apple and Google. All these are involved with TikTok. How? Oracle is the server provider. Amazon Web Services holds the data in their data banks. Akamai Technology is a content delivery company. Apple and Google put it in their app stores. This whole machine is well oiled. But the thing is, now what I'm going to say is significant when I talk about the next thing. All these companies, if they violate this order, I mean, TikTok can still continue with its story. But the fact is, it needs Oracle, Amazon Web Services, Akamai Technologies, Apple and Google and all these to ensure it comes on your mobile and you can use it. They will not run foul of their own law. Why? The penalty they face is $5,000 per user who can access this app. And TikTok has 170 million users. So imagine the liability these 4 or 5 companies will face at $5,000 per user if this app is available by tomorrow. Why will these people do? They'll say sorry. Okay. So this is the implication of violating that ban. Okay, आगे बढ़ेंगे. ये देखो. Both these gentlemen have discussed TikTok. They spoke 3 days back and said how to retain TikTok. Donald Trump and Xi Jinping discussed TikTok before the US Supreme Court handed down its ruling, upholding a law that would ban the social media platform in the country if it is not sold to a non-Chinese buyer. I mean, that's the thing, that it has to be sold to a non-Chinese buyer. An American buyer, basically. And Trump and Xi Jinping have spoken about it. International geopolitics, strange bedfellows, interests. Whose interest is being served where? Okay. This has come from Guancha today. The Chinese media, in fact, it's not only this, even South China Morning Post, it says Trump will give a 90-day grace period, or rather a 90-day extension. How we can give, we don't know. Okay. What has Trump said? Or let me analyze this. Okay. This ban without selling, if it is not sold, there's a ban. If it is sold, there's no ban on TikTok. Sold to American company. If TikTok becomes an American company, there's no ban. Now, this is the thing which has been passed by Biden administration. It allows extension. There is scope for extension, provided the way to divest TikTok and convert it to American company has been determined, or the way is laid out, and significant progress is made in that, and all the binding legal issues are resolved. So if it is being sold, the way is clear, who's to buy, how it is to buy, what are the legal issues, everything. If all that is clear, extension can be given. Now, Trump has to prove to the Congress that all these 3 conditions are met. Then he can give a 90-day extension. This is a legal thing. Otherwise, he can't do. So far, Trump has not explained to the US media whether he will extend it or not, and all that. This reporting is in Chinese media, not in US media. So, what has Trump said? The Supreme Court's ruling is expected and everyone must respect it. So, he is also worried. He can't pass an order which is against the Supreme Court ruling. That order will be null and void, a presidential order. And he can't do it immediately on assumption. Yeah, 20th he becomes a president and 21st he passes an order. He'll look like a fool. My decision on TikTok will be made in the near future. But I must have time to evaluate the position. Please look forward to it. उसने भी गाजर लटका दिया. He's hung a carrot. So that is where the TikTok ban is. Talk of this TikTok ban. You know, on Sunday, the ban was affected. TikTok went dark. But now he's ordered his attorney general not to enforce the law which has banned for 75 days. And he says they will give the administration an opportunity to determine the appropriate course forward. That means within 75 days, this TikTok has to be sold to a US company. Right. Your views on this?
So this was again, one of the things that he said yesterday regarding free speech, and he, as Trump feels that in the US for the past 4 years, the Americans have been denied their right to free speech, and so many, censures and orders have been passed by the Biden administration, which has restricted free speech. And TikTok may not finally fructify into reversing of the ban, because we have to also see the other dimension of TikTok, that it is a Chinese made app, and all the revenue that is earned is going to the Chinese based app to China. So whereas he has said that in exercise of the right to free speech, this TikTok ban should be held back for 75 days till the time the attorney general studies it. But to my mind, the China factor will ultimately play also a big role in whether TikTok stays or not stays after 75 days.
Yeah, but let me put it across to everyone. I've already done a program, if you remember, on one of the things I spoke during the open house on Sunday was TikTok. TikTok ban will, will come into effect. It's already come into effect. Already, it's come into effect. The Trump administration's thing, will it be effective or not? It's only for 75 days. Within the 75 days, TikTok has to be sold to a US company, whatever happens. Right? That's a big question. Question mark. Those of you who are interested in seeing what I had spoken can have a look at what I spoke on Sunday. I devoted about 15 minutes to this, going into the entire TikTok saga. Within the next 75 days, if TikTok, which is operating ex USA, can be sold to US company and become a US company, well and good. The rumor mill is, will Elon Musk, like he acquired X, buy TikTok and make into American company. The problem is the basic algorithm is a Chinese one. So will Chinese government allow it to become or not is a thing which is to be seen. But either way, there are a whole lot of issues. As of now, the current state is TikTok is available in USA. That's what I read in New York Times. It's available in USA.
It went dark for some time. It went dark for some time, but it was revived.
No, it's not revived. I'll give you the correct picture. It's TikTok is available for those people who already have the app and they can see it. But the app stores like Google and Apple and all have removed it.
Yes.
So if you want to newly download that app, it's not available. So the American companies are playing it very clear and safe. They say, we don't want penalties, because the penalty is $5,000 per user who downloads this app from either Apple or Google or anyone, right? That's very soon Amazon Web Services also might say we cannot provide web services for this, because all these are logged. So let's see how it goes. And if TikTok is still alive and it is based on a web service from outside USA, Then there are implications, everything. So let us see how it goes. There are legal issues to the whole story. But he's passed the order. Okay. And then Trump wants to visit China now, as per some report which has come out. Within the first 100 days, he says, I'll go to China and speak to Xi Jinping. So what's afoot? Here is a president of the USA who bans this app and later changes his stance. In the period of this ban, or rather in the intervening period, it is proven that their data has been siphoned off to China and it's a cyber security risk. The Supreme Court says ban it. This man is still at it and he wants now to go to China. There is a danger in this whole story, which is coming out in the media, and this is where we need to be careful. This is not the first time. Even, when the election was to take place, or just after the election took place and the counting was on and all that, or just after that also, I think they have spoken to each other on certain issues. Now he wants to go there. He's spoken on TikTok. So there's a one-to-one going on between China and USA. Whether they want to get into a G2 mechanism or not, or whatever, that's a later day story. But there's a one-to-one going on there. We don't know the underlying story of this one-to-one thing going on. So that puts India on a limb. Can you trust Trump tomorrow? Okay. Then the next thing is that who can trust Trump? Trump will act is Trump acting as per American interests or his interests? We don't know. How this will go on, we don't know. Is he doing it for American interests or American global influence or whatever? There's a question mark. So we are in for, interesting times. We need to see. That is why 23rd join us. We're going to have some people talk about Trump. In fact, tomorrow we'll talk with Brigadier Arun Saigal and I'll have a few discussions on the Trump presidency and what it means for India. But this TikTok episode itself gives you a precursor to what you can't trust Trump. You can't rely on Trump. Whether you trust him or not, you can't rely on. And we have a lot of problems. Bangladesh, Pakistan, Nepal, around. I mean, the fact that he's going to put tariffs on us is a foregone conclusion. That's a different story. Immigration, a lot of things, and I'll talk of it. And China is using all these points. Why am I saying it? China has already started some kind of a indirect approach towards us. And that indirect approach, it's a conflict. No more direct, it's indirect. I'll talk of it maybe later in the week, not far, later in the week. It's some kind of a trade war, all that, we'll talk. There's no hurry. Because we are getting into interesting times. So that much for TikTok. Okay.